Welcome to the Catholic Quiz Bowl and the Carlo Cup. I'm your host, Scott Smith, the founder of CQBO, the Catholic Quiz Bowl organization. We are in the midst of a renaissance and renewal of Catholic culture and the Catholic intellectual tradition. People, even young people, are hungry for truth and knowledge about their faith. Catholic Quiz Bowl is a way to foster, through academic competition, the intellectual formation of our youth post-confirmation. It's to awaken all those gifts of the Holy Spirit, not just knowledge, but counsel, wisdom, fortitude, and all the gifts. What you'll see today is two teams at a time competing against each other on buzzers for toss-ups worth 10 points. Whichever team gets the toss-up gets a chance at 3 additional bonus questions worth a total of 30 points. Teams can work together on the bonuses, but not on the toss-ups. I hope these questions will be enjoyable for you at home, too. You can compete at home to see if you can answer the questions before the teams do. Also, you'll hopefully go deeper and grow deeper in your knowledge of all these subjects presented. We are presenting all these subjects through a Catholic lens to engage with a part of our culture that is too often overlooked: the contributions of Catholics to everything. There is nothing that the Church has not contributed to in a meaningful way, not just as priests and religious, but as scientists, authors, athletes, and politicians as well. So, sit back and enjoy the Carlo Cup. Welcome to the 4th round of our preliminary seeding rounds of the Carlo Cup. We have with us for this round St. Joseph's Academy and Regina Caeli. We've already checked the buzzers. Hopefully they will continue to work properly. We'll begin with toss-up number 1. Popes of this name include the 10th, who was devoted to the Blessed Mother under the title Our Lady of Confidence, and who wrote Diem Illum, an encyclical on the Immaculate Conception in 1904, the first year of his pontificate. The 9th of this name convoked the First Vatican Council in 1868 and reigned nearly 32 years, which is the longest reign of any pope except Peter. The most recent to bear this name reigned during World War II for 10 points. Name this. Right? Incorrect. Right? Name this shared papal name which means reverence to God. Correct. Okay. All right. So you got the toss-up. So your bonus. Name the following about the popes Pius and the wars they were involved in for 10 points each. Number 1, despite being responsible for smuggling an estimated 860,000 Jews out of Nazi-occupied countries, Pope Pius XII has been criticized for his negotiations with this leader of Nazi Germany. Adolf Hitler? Correct. Number 2, Pope Pius IX and the Vatican armies were attacked during the movement for independence in this country called the Risorgimento, during which many of the papal lands were confiscated. Austria? Incorrect, that's Italy. Name either of the 2 leaders of the Italian unification movement, both Freemasons, one the leader of the Red Army and the other the leader of the Young Italy movement. Incorrect, that's Giuseppe Mazzini or Giuseppe Garibaldi. Toss-up number 2. So after that we have -5 for St. Joseph and 20 points for Regina Caeli. Number 2, toss-up. Father Athanasius Kircher, S.J., one of the first researchers to observe microbes through a microscope, was the first to propose that this was caused by an infectious microorganism and in suggesting effective measures to prevent its spread. This disease is caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. Yes.
What's bubonic?
Correct. Good job. Your bonus. Name the following about the plague for 10 points each. Number 1. The plague fits the definition of one of these, meaning all people, an epidemic of an infectious disease that has a sudden increase in cases and spreads across a large region, for instance, multiple continents, or worldwide, affecting a substantial portion of the human population.
Pandemic?
Correct. Number 2, the Black Death spread mainly from person to person as this form of the plague, a severe lung infection with symptoms including fever, headache, shortness of breath, chest pain, coughing, and coughing up blood.
Respiratory?
I'll accept that. It's the pneumonic plague. Number 3, this form of the Black Death is a systemic disease involving infection of the blood spread directly from bites from infected fleas.
Pulmonary?
This is the septicemic version. 23. I have 20 points in the bonus, bring you a total of 25 points to 20, Regina Chaley. Number 3, toss-up. He wrote the poem The Dream of Gerontius, which was set to music in 1900 by Edward Algar. Along with Edward Pusey, this eventual cardinal was the leader of an intellectual movement that strove to restore Catholicism in Anglican England. This contributor to Tracts for the Times also wrote Apologia Pro Vita Sua, a defense of his conversion to Catholicism. For 10 points, name the saint who left the Church of England, the founder of the Oxford movement, and the namesake of college campus Catholic centers across the world. Yes.
John.
Correct. Your bonus. A member of the Oxford movement, Edward Pusey, was found to be wearing one of these items beneath his clothes when he died. Name the following about this article of clothing for 10 points each. Name the article of clothing made of rough or intentionally irritable material that is worn under the clothes as a penance or mortification. Incorrect. That's a hair shirt. According to Matthew 3:4, St. John the Baptist wore a hair shirt made from the hair of this animal. Your answer?
Bear.
It's a camel.
That's what I'm
Number
saying.
3, St. Augustine describes a common practice in his time of standing on haircloth while undergoing this sacrament.
Reconciliation?
Baptism.
To guess. Out of 7.
All right, so I've got 35-20. Toss-up number 4. This devotion was revealed to a 17th century visitation nun and focuses on reparation to Jesus for sins and offenses that wound his sacred heart, including I will establish peace in their homes. This devotion includes 12 promises of final perseverance for those who practice the devotion. For 10 points, name this devotion associated with the Sacred Heart of Jesus, promoted by St. Margaret Mary Alacoque.
The First Friday's devotion.
Correct. Good job. Your bonus. Name the following about St. Margaret Mary Alacoque for 10 points each. Number 1, Jesus asked that St. Margaret Mary petition the King of France to publicly consecrate himself to the Sacred Heart, but he never did. However, the king's grandson promised to do so once he was restored to power, but he and his wife, Marie Antoinette, were executed by guillotine in 1793 before he could do so. Who was this executed king of France?
Louis XVI.
Correct. St. Margaret Mary faced skepticism and opposition until this Jesuit priest became her spiritual director and helped spread the devotion. Your answer? That's St. Claude de la Colombière. Number 3, St. Margaret Mary was canonized in 1920 by this pope.
Pope Pius XII.
That's Benedict XV. So I have 40, 35.
Reminder not to people.
Sure, yes. Let's keep it to just the people on the stage, please. And if there are any protests or anything that need to be made, we'll stop at midpoint for score check, and any protests can be lodged then as well. All right, toss-up number 5. This was an 11th and 12th century conflict between Pope Gregory the Seventh and Holy Roman Emperor Henry IV over the ability to choose and install bishops and other church leaders, setting a precedent for church independence from secular rulers. For 10 points, what controversy? Yes.
That's
Good job. Okay, name the following about the investiture controversy for 10 points each. Number 1, in what country was Canossa, where Holy Roman Emperor Henry IV did penance in 1077 and stood 3 days bareheaded in the snow to reverse his excommunication by Pope Gregory VII? Your answer?
France.
Incorrect, that's Italy. Number 2, the investiture controversy was ended in 1122 when Pope Calixtus II and Emperor Henry V reached this agreement. Your answer?
Ecclesiastical investiture.
This is the Concordat of Worms, or Worms. Number 3, Henry IV named Guibert of Ravenna, who he had invested as Bishop of Ravenna, to be Pope, and referred to him as Pope Clement III. A false pope like this is referred to by this title that starts with an A.
Anti-pope.
Correct. 10 points on the bonus. So I have 60, 35. Toss-up number 6. Based on the historical figure of Jean-Baptiste Lamy and Joseph Projectus Machebouf, this 20th century novel follows a priest named Jean-Marie Latour and his superior as they build an archdiocese in New Mexico. Its American author is known for historical fiction with Catholic themes such as O Pioneers and My Antonia. For 10 points, name this novel by Willa Cather about the ultimate fate of Latour, who had previously cheated death. Yes.
The Four Horsemen.
Incorrect. No penalty. Okay, time. That's death comes for the archbishop. Toss-up number 7. Its title was first mentioned in a letter from the Synod of Milan dated AD 390, in which it is called the Symbolum Apostolicum. The Baltimore Catechism asks for this at question 11. Where shall we find the chief truths which the Church teaches? 10 points. Name this creed recited at the beginning. Yes, that is correct. Okay, your bonus. Name the following about the Apostles' Creed for 10 points each. Number 1, the Apostles' Creed begins with these 2 words, which translate to credo in Latin.
I believe.
Correct. Number 2, according to the Apostles' Creed, what happened to Jesus after he suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried?
Descended into hell.
Correct. Number 3, what is the last item listed that we believe in according to the Apostles' Creed?
Life everlasting.
Correct. All right, that brings us to 100 Regina Caeli 35, St. Vincent's. Oh, sorry, St. Joseph's. Number 8, toss-up number 8. In this novel, a woman saves her unrequited love by stopping a musket ball that goes through her hand and into her heart. That woman is Eponine, who is part of a love triangle with Marius and the protagonist's adopted daughter, Cosette. For 10 points. Yes, correct. All right. Number 1, bonus. Name the following about Les Miserables for 10 points each. Number 1. The novel includes a lengthy description of this Napoleonic battle, in the aftermath of which the unscrupulous Thénardiers are introduced as scavengers among the corpses of the defeated French. Your answer? That's Waterloo, Battle of Waterloo. Number 2, Jean Valjean serves a prison sentence for stealing a loaf of bread, and later, when breaking parole, is saved by a cleric of this rank.
Bishop.
Correct. That's Bishop Myriel. Number 3, this is the mother of Cosette, whom Valjean rescues from the street, who sings in the musical adaptation the song, I Dreamed a Dream. Your answer?
Sir.
It's Fantine. I feel like there's some people that wanted to answer that one. All right, I have 120, 35. Toss-up number 9. The first law of the study of these structures was developed by Blessed Nicholas Steno. It is also called the law of constancy of interfacial angles, and states that the angles between corresponding faces on these are the same for all specimens of the same mineral. Forming lattice structures at the molecular level are, for 10 points, what materials, large examples of which include snowflakes, diamonds, and table salt? Yes.
Crystals?
Correct. All right, your bonus. Name the following crystals for 10 points each. This mineral, also called fool's gold, is actually an iron sulfide that forms cubic crystals.
Pyrite?
Correct. Number 2, this violet variety of quartz forms trapezohedral crystals.
Amethyst?
Correct. Number 3, a crystal structure, the arrangement of atoms in a crystal, is characterized by this: a small imaginary box containing one or more atoms in a specific spatial arrangement. These are stacked in three-dimensional space to form the crystal.
Cubic molecule?
It's a unit cell. So 20 points in the bonus, bringing you all to 65 to 120. Toss-up number 10, after which we'll have a score check and any substitutions. Number 10, toss-up. Modernist scholars sometimes erroneously assume the Synoptic Gospels were written after 70 A.D. based on Jesus' prophecy of this event. Truly I say to you, not one stone here will be left upon another that will not be torn down.
At the temple.
Correct. Okay, your bonus. Name the following about the Temple of Jerusalem for 10 points each. This structure is the most famous remnant of the temple and Judaism's holiest site remaining in Jerusalem. Christians and Jews alike come to pray here, and its crevices are filled with countless handwritten notes and slips of paper. Your answer?
West Wall.
I can accept that. I can accept Wailing Wall, Weeping Wall, Western Wall, Kato, Kosel, Al-Mabka, or the Barak Wall. Number 2, this Islamic shrine atop the remains of the temple was built over the foundation stone, which is believed to be the place where God created the world and Adam, as well as where Abraham attempted to sacrifice Isaac. Your answer?
Where Muhammad received.
Can you be more specific?
I think it's a big rock, right? What is it now?
Can't accept that. You're on the right track. It's the Dome of the Rock. Number 3, this is the hill in the old city of Jerusalem upon which the 2 temples once stood, and now stands the Dome of the Rock. Your answer? That's the Temple Mount. All right, so 10 points on the bonus. I have a score 65, 140. Is that right? So 140 Regina Caeli, 65 St. Joseph's. Any substitutions,
Yes.
questions, concerns? And y'all will note that I'm just kind of looking at you for the toss-up since we don't have name tags. Okay, is everybody able to hear me okay? It's been clear? Awesome. Okay. Coaches, are y'all ready? Awesome. All right, give me a buzzer check on that one. Good, still working. All right, toss-up number 11. There is a tradition broadcast around the world from Krakow of playing a 5-note call of this instrument every hour in each of the 4 cardinal directions on the highest tower of St. Mary's Basilica. The composer of Salt Peanuts and A Night in Tunisia played a bent version of this instrument. One band leader played this instrument on his album, Kind of Blue. 10 points, name this brass instrument played by Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis, and Louis Armstrong. Yeah.
Saxophone.
Incorrect. No penalty, though. Time. That's a trumpet. All right. Toss up 12. Let me just check something real fast. Just making sure I'm not reading the wrong game. All right, good. All right, toss up number 12. The female personification of this virtue is typically depicted with a mirror and snake. Yes. Incorrect. Okay. Typically depicted with a mirror and snake, and alongside the Roman goddess Justitia. Because it is the cause, measure, and form of all other virtues, Aquinas called this the mother of all virtues. Called the charioteer of all the other virtues for 10 points, which one of the 4 classical virtues is defined by Aquinas as right reason and action, that is, the ability to discern the true good in any situation and the correct means to achieve it. Yes.
Prudence.
Correct. Hey, your bonus. Name the following subordinate or related virtues as defined by St. Thomas Aquinas in the Summa Theologica for 10 points each. Number one, this, quote, is a virtue whereby a man, considering his own defects, has a lowly opinion of himself and willingly submits himself to God and to others for God's sake, end quote.
Humility.
Correct. Number two, this virtue related to justice is the, quote, moral virtue which inclines the will to comply with the command of a superior, end quote.
Obedience.
Correct. Number three, this virtue related to fortitude and charity, quote, is a virtue whereby a man bears up evils with an equal mind, lest he abandon the good on account of the evils, end quote. Your answer?
Love.
It's patience. 20 points on the bonus. So it takes us to 100, 135 for Gina Chaley. Okay, toss up 13. This French ruler was fluent in both Latin and Greek and had memorized most of St. Augustine's City of God. When the Lombards threatened to attack Rome, Pope Adrian... Yes. Good job. All right, your bonus, name the following about Charlemagne for 10 points each. Number one, the Carolingian dynasty replaced this dynasty founded by Clovis. Your answer?
Frankish.
This is the Merovingian. Number two, this member of Charlemagne's court was the most influential scholar of the Carolingian Renaissance, the author of several mathematical tracts, preparer of the Tours Bible, and revisor of the Roman lectionary and Gregorian sacramentary.
Saint Bernard of Clairvaux.
This is Alcuin. And number three, Charlemagne fought this pagan Germanic tribe from 772 to 803, eventually forcing their conversion to Christianity by the sword. Your answer? This is the Saxons. The Saxons. All right, toss up number four. We've got 145, Regina Chaley, 100, St. Joseph's. Toss up number 14. According to Deuteronomy 34, he died and was buried at Mount Nebo in the land of Moab. Yes. Correct. Good buzz. All right, your bonus. Primarily written by Moses, the Pentateuch is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. For 5 points each, or 30 for all 5, name, in no particular order, the first 5 books, the 5 books of the Pentateuch.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy.
Correct. 30 points. All right, we have 185, 100. All right, 15, toss-up. It was originally commissioned as an emperor's burial site and still bears the name Mausoleum of Hadrian. This is the name of the rotunda in Parco Adriano, a circular structure in the Vatican where popes are buried. Legend holds that the Archangel Michael appeared on top of it, sheathing his sword as a sign of the end of the plague of 590, thus lending the castle its present name. For 10 points, name this Vatican fortress, the largest castle in Rome. Yes. Incorrect. No penalty. Time. It's Castle Sant'Angelo. All right, toss up 16. Pencil and paper ready. And I might give you more than 15 seconds for this. Exodus 12:37 states that 600,000 Israelite men left Egypt, not counting women and children. Assuming an average Israelite family size of 5, i.e., 2 parents and 3 kids, how many total Israelites would have left Egypt? You have 15 seconds. Yes,
3 million.
correct. Your bonus. Calculate the following from the number described above. This is some more calculation. Calculate the following from the number described above, 3 million Israelites for 10 points each. Assume for the sake of calculation that A, the Israelites ate only manna and not quail, B, 1,000 wafers of manna weigh a total of half a pound, i.e. the same approximate weight as communion wafers today, and C, the average Israelite eats 3 pounds of manna per day. How many wafers of manna were eaten by 3 million Israelites on a normal day?
$9 billion.
It's 18 billion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, number 2. Given the rules of the Sabbath, how much manna in either pounds or wafers would the Israelites collect in total on the day before the Sabbath?
Billion. 108 billion pounds of manna.
This is 36 billion wafers of manna. They collect a double portion on the Sabbath day, on the day before the Sabbath. Number 3, take your average Israelite, let's call him Joseph, who typically eats 6 pounds of manna on a Wednesday. If he left 25% of his manna to eat Thursday morning, how much manna would he have left to eat in the morning?
Like 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds of manna.
This is less a math question and more an Exodus question. If you left any behind, it vanished. It went away. So he'd
Oh my
have
gosh,
0 pounds of manna.
That's such a trick question. That's not fair.
I appreciate your patience and fortitude and sticking around through that bonus. All right, we got 110, 185. Toss-up 17. One of the people to survive this was a future superior general of the Jesuit order and a medical doctor who was able to provide both medical and spiritual care to the other survivors. A story like Father Pedro Arupe's, along with 5 other survivor stories, were featured in John Hersey's book about the event. For 10 points, what event took place on August 6, 1945, after a little boy was dropped by the Enola Gay on a certain Japanese city? Yes.
The bombing of Nagasaki.
Incorrect. Yes.
Bombing Hiroshima.
Yes.
It's okay.
All right, your bonus. Name the following about the end of World War II for 10 points each. America dropped an atomic bomb on this other Japanese city as well.
Nagasaki.
Yes. It is still Nagasaki. Following after the atomic bombings, which U.S. President issued the following statement announcing the use of the new weapon: "We may be grateful to Providence that the German atomic bomb project had failed and that the United States and its allies had spent $2 billion on the greatest scientific gamble in history and won. If Japan does not now accept our terms, they may expect a rain of ruin from the air, the like of which has never been seen on earth. Behind this air attack will follow sea and land forces in such numbers and power as they have not yet seen, and with the fighting skill of which they are already well aware."
President Truman.
Correct. Number 3, similar to the Pax Romana, what has become the term for the historical period of relative global stability following the end of World War II to the present day? This period includes the Cold War.
Pax Mundi.
It's the Long Peace. Okay. I have 215, Regina Caeli, 110, St. Joseph Academy. Toss-up 18. Protestants defend this false doctrine by pointing to Galatians 2:16, which describes not works, but works of the law. This Protestant doctrine is not explicit in the Bible except in the... Yes.
Sola fide.
Correct. Sola fides, or faith alone. Name the following concerning the Protestant doctrine of faith alone for 10 points each. Number 1, Protestants believe that specifically this, a word beginning with the letter J, is achieved through faith alone. According to the Catechism, this involves the free forgiveness of sins and the recreation of the sinner through the infusion of sanctifying grace.
Justification.
Correct. Number 2, following verse 24, which states man is not saved by faith alone, James 2:25 states that in the same way was not also this woman, the harlot, justified by works when she received the messengers and sent them out another way. Name this biblical prostitute who hung a scarlet cord from her window in the book of Joshua.
Rahab.
Correct. Number 3, the next verse, James 2:26, goes a step further by stating that faith apart from works is this.
Dead.
Correct. 30 points on the bonus. Okay, so we got 255, 110. Toss-up number 19. The Apuan and Serpentine forms of this from the ancient caves of Monteferrato and Figline de Prato are the distinctive green and white stone of Florence. The Pietà was carved out of a single piece of this, white and blue, from the... Yes.
Marble.
Good job.
Go.
Name the following about marble for 10 points each. Marble is produced by the metamorphism of this sedimentary rock found in coral reefs. Name this calcium carbonate rock in which most cave systems are found.
Limestone.
Correct. Number 2, many limestone caves contain these rock formations hanging from the ceiling.
Stalactite. Stalactites.
Good. Yeah, they're hanging tight from the ceiling. Okay, number 3. La Sainte-Baume, a mountain cave in southeast France where St. Mary Magdalene is believed to have spent the last 30 years of her life in prayer, is an example of this kind of topography. Caves and sinkholes formed by the dissolution of limestone characterize this type of topography, which can also be created by dolomite and gypsum. Your answer?
Mountains.
This is karst topography. All right, the last toss-up, number 20. The 4th precept of the church requires the observance of this to ensure, quote, the times of ascesis and penance, which prepare us for the liturgical feasts and help us acquire mastery. Yes.
The profession of Trinity.
Incorrect. I mean, that's good, but it's incorrect for the question. And help us acquire mastery over our instincts and freedom of heart. Jesus' first temptation in the desert turned these stones to bread, ensured that this penitential practice would be a primary component of Lent. Yes, correct. All right, your bonus. Name the following about the 5 main precepts of the church for 10 points each. Number 1, what is the first precept of the church according to Catechism, paragraph 2042? This precept corresponds with the third commandment regarding how and which days are kept holy.
Sabbath. Keep holy the Sabbath.
Can you be more specific?
Of Sunday.
I'll accept it. It's you shall attend Mass on Sundays and holy days of obligation. Number 2, what is the second precept? This one ensures preparation for the Eucharist by the reception of a certain sacrament which continues baptism's work of conversion and forgiveness.
Receive reconciliation.
Can you be more specific?
Receive reconciliation. And be in a state of grace before you receive communion.
Can you be more specific?
You can't be in a state of moral sin to receive the Eucharist.
I'll accept it. It's you shall confess your sins at least once per year. Number 3, what is the third precept? This one guarantees a minimum reception of the Lord's body and blood in connection with a certain liturgical season, the origin and center of the Christian liturgy.
You must receive communion during the Easter season.
Correct. 30 on the bonus for a total of 40. So I have a final score. St. Joseph's 180 and Regina Chaley 250. Good? Awesome. Congratulations, both teams. If you would shake hands or whatever you want to do. We'll be right back.
Sarah, I've been watching you in action. Your approach with your patients, your confidence, it's impressive. Where'd you learn those skills?
Brand new.
And welcome back. This is round 5, the final round of the seeding part of the tournament, the preliminary rounds. We have with us St. Michael the Archangel High School and Catholic of Baton Rouge. Let's get started. All right, we should be good on buzzers. Number 1, the Kassite dynasty, lasting until 1155 BC, was the longest-lived dynasty of the Neo-Empire of this name until... Yes.
Assyrian?
Incorrect. Until it was conquered by Shutruk-Nakhunti of Elam, then reconquered a few years later as part of the larger Late Bronze Age collapse by King Nebuchadnezzar I. For 10 points, what old empire of this name achieved its greatest power under the lawgiver Hammurabi? Okay, time. It's Babylon, the Babylonian Empire. Number 2. Jesuit fathers Bouvet and Regis produced surveys of the Chinese provinces for work in this field. Vincenzo Coronelli, a Franciscan friar, was the greatest in this field during the Baroque period, known in particular for the massive celestial and terrestrial globes he made for Louis XIV based on the latest data acquired by LaSalle. For 10 points, what is the science of making maps called? Yes.
Topography?
Good. And thanks for speaking right into the microphone. All right, your bonus. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Topography?
Yes, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. Apologize for that. Other team?
Cartography.
That's correct. Yes. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so y'all's bonus, St. Michael's bonus. Name the following from the history of cartography for 10 points each. Number 1, the oldest known map, a representation of a mountain, river, valleys, and routes around Pavlov in the Czech Republic, carved on a piece of ivory from this kind of ancient animal, has been dated to 25,000 BC.
What is a mammoth?
Correct, and you don't have to answer in the form of a question. Number 2, around 200 BC, Eratosthenes first calculated this measurement of the Earth to within 0.5% accuracy by comparing the difference in angles of the shadows cast by the sun on a vertical rod in 2 different cities, Alexandria and Syene, at the same time on the summer solstice. What is this measurement? The distance around a circle.
Circumference?
Correct. Number 3, the 2 cities picked by Eratosthenes were on the same north-south line of longitude, which Eratosthenes called by this name, as his great contribution to cartography was being the first to chart maps with these. What are these north-south lines, the prime of which runs through Greenwich, London?
Latitude?
I can't accept that. It's meridians, if only because I said the prime version of it. So we got 20 points on the bonus, total of 30. And there was no penalty for your answer, so it's 30, Nick 5. All right, toss-up number 3. An infinite one of these, consisting of hexagonal stacked rooms containing every combination of the 25 orthographic symbols, was described by Jorge Luis Borges in his short story entitled One of These of Babel. One of these was initiated in 1448 by Pope Nicholas V and now contains over 31 miles of shelving. For 10 points, name these institutions, such as the ancient and wondrous one in Alexandria, which, yes.
Library?
Correct. Good job. Number 1 of your bonuses. Name the following about the most famous Catholic library in the world for 10 points each. What library, now containing over 31 miles of shelving and 1.6 million books, was formally established by Pope Sixtus IV on June 15, 1475, by the papal bull Ad Decorum Militatis Ecclesiae?
Vatican Library.
Correct. Among the most famous holdings of the library is the Codex Vaticanus Gracchus 1209, the oldest known nearly complete manuscript of this book.
The Bible.
Correct. Number 3, active from 1560 to 1966, this was a changing list of publications deemed heretical or contrary to morality by a special dicastery of the Roman Curia, which Catholics were forbidden to print or read, subject to the decision of the local bishop.
Banned books.
Could you say that again?
Banned books.
Could you be more specific?
Banned doctrines.
So this is the index of forbidden books. So I got 20 points on the bonus. So it's 25 to 30. Toss-up number 4. The second book of Kings, 14:25, mentions that he was born in the town of Gath, Hefer, about 5 miles from Nazareth. Though his account is often misunderstood as him surviving his aqueous captivity, Jesus says no sign will be given to the sinful except the sign of this prophet. For 10 points, Jesus' statement clarifies that which man in the Bible was actually resurrected 3 days after dying in the belly of a whale. Yes.
Jonah.
Correct. Your bonus. Name the following about Jonah for 10 points each. Jonah was sent to preach repentance to this city, at one time the largest and wealthiest city in the world, now located in the modern-day city of Mosul, Iraq.
Nineveh.
Correct. Number 2, Nineveh was the capital of this empire, which began to unravel around 616 BC through a series of bitter civil wars and attacks from its own former vassals, the Chaldeans, Babylonians, Medes, and Scythians.
Assyrian.
Correct. And third part of your bonus, this was the last great king of the Assyrian Empire, ruling over Nineveh at its zenith until it was sacked in 612 BC.
Hammurabi.
This is Ashurbanipal. So I have 55 Catholic to 30 St. Michael. Toss-up number 5. The shrine of Our Lady of Solace is located here. At an eating contest held at this place, Joey Chestnut ate 74 of Nathan's famous hot dogs, which originated here. The Cyclone is a wooden roller coaster, part of an... Yes.
Coney Island.
Correct. You weren't expecting that when I said Our Lady of Solace, were you? All right, name these other islands of the New York City archipelago, which are actual islands, for 10 points each. Number 1. The most densely populated and geographically smallest of the 5 boroughs of New York City is this island, which includes Central Park, Harlem, and the Empire State Building.
Manhattan.
Correct. Number 2, this island includes the boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens.
Long Island.
Correct. Number 3, this is the 413-acre prison island in the East River in the Bronx that contains New York City's largest jail.
Rikers Island.
Correct. 30 points on the bonus. Got 95 to 30. Toss-up number 6. This Gregorian chant is attributed to Thomas of Celano. Found in The Lion King and Fellowship of the Ring, this chant sequence was also frequently used by John Williams for the Old Man Marley leitmotif in Home Alone, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Jurassic Park, and in Duel of the Fates, when Luke discovers the deaths of his aunt and uncle in Star Wars. For 10 points, name this chant used at funerals whose Latin name translates as Day of Wrath. Yes.
Deus Era.
Could you say it one more time?
Deus Era.
I can't accept that. I'm sorry. Time. So it was close. I thought I heard Deus instead of Dies, which is day versus God, and it's a Dies Irae. But you're very close. All right, toss up number 7. Martin Luther stated frankly that this, which in Latin is liberum arbitrium, is a fiction, for it is not in man's power to think well or ill, since all events occur by necessity. In response to Erasmus's De Libero Arbitrio, Luther wrote in De Servo Arbitrio that the predestination of all future human acts by God is so interpreted as to shut out any possibility of this. St. Augustine emphasized, yes.
Free will.
Good. You answered before I could get to the Catholic part of that question. But anyway, good job. Name the following about free will for 10 points each. Number 1, in the Garden of Eden, this tree represented the capacity for free moral choice by Adam and Eve.
Tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Correct. Number 2, the Catechism teaches that free will is a power rooted in this spiritual faculty of the human person.
Conscience.
Incorrect. That's reason. Number 3, the church condemned the denial of free will in the teachings of this 5th century British monk, the namesake of a heresy who claimed grace was unnecessary for salvation. Your answer?
Urius.
Incorrect. That's Pelagius. Okay, I've got 115 Catholic, 30 St. Michael. Toss-up number 8. A series of tempters paralleling Christ's temptations in the desert appeal to the main character of this play one by one as he contemplates his upcoming martyrdom, to which he responds, "The last temptation is the greatest treason, to do the right deed for the wrong reason." At the close of this play, the knights, fresh off the bloody title action, attempt to defend their actions for 10 points. Name this play by T.S. Eliot about the martyrdom of St. Thomas of Becket. Time. That's Murder in the Cathedral. Toss-up number 9. In 1920, the Holy Cross priest Julius Nowland first successfully polymerized acetylene into divinyl acetylene, which DuPont later used to develop neoprene, a synthetic form of this substance. Charles Goodyear developed a chemical process to strengthen this substance by heating it with sulfur. For 10 points, what substance is vulcanized to create a durable, elastic, and... Yeah.
Rubber.
Correct. Okay, name the following about tires for 10 points each. John Boyd Dunlop invented this kind of tire for bicycles, a replacement for solid rubber ones.
Inflated.
I'll accept that. It's pneumatic tires. I could accept air-filled. Number 2, in 1895, these brothers, who also created namesake road guides, created the world's first pneumatic tires for automobiles, using them in a car called Leclerc, competing in the 1895 Paris-Bordeaux-Paris race.
Michelin.
Correct. And number 3, in 1946, Michelin developed this new method of tire construction. In this design, strengtheners, cord plies, are arranged at 90 degrees to the direction of travel, or in this namesake direction from the center of the tire.
Reverse.
What was that?
Reverse.
Incorrect. So that's radial. Okay, 20 points in the bonus, taking y'all to 145, 30, St. Michael. Toss up 10, after which we'll have a score check and we make substitutions. During the final assault at this structure, the non-combatants sought safety in the sacristy, originally named the Mission San Antonio de Valera. Yes.
The Alamo.
Correct. Okay, your bonus. Name the following about Texas history for 10 points each. Number 1, this man, whose name is Spanish for Saint Anne, led the Mexican army against the Alamo.
Santa Anna.
Correct. The Battle of the Alamo was part of this war or revolution.
War for Texan independence.
Correct. Number 3, the flag from the Battle of Gonzales featured a cannon, the Lone Star, and what four-word phrase based on the Greek phrase molon labe, first uttered by Spartan King Leonidas at the Battle of Thermopylae?
Come and take it.
Yes, sir. 30 points on the bonus. Well done. All right. That's the first half. Right now I have a score of 185 to 30. Is that correct? Is that what y'all have? Any substitutions? All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us at home. We're going to get started up again with toss-up number 11. The first known one of these, the Portia, was constructed in 184 BC by Cato the Elder. In Western Roman architecture, these were typically built alongside the town's forum to conduct court and other official public functions, and were equivalent to the stoa of the Greek Eastern Roman Empire. With a long center nave and an apse at one end for 10 points, what is this kind of building now known almost exclusively as churches, which there are 4 major papal ones in Rome, including St.
Basilica.
Correct. Including St. Peter's. Name the following about the 4 major papal basilicas of Rome for 10 points each. Number 1, the official cathedral of the Diocese of Rome and the Pope's seat. This basilica, the only arch-basilica, is considered the mother church of the entire world.
St. Peter's Basilica.
Incorrect, that's St. John Lateran. Number 2, the basilica enshrines the venerated image of Salus Populi Romani, depicting the Blessed Virgin Mary as the health and protector of the Roman people. Name this largest church in Rome dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
Mary's Basilica.
Can be more specific. Your answer?
Basilica of Our Lady.
It's St. Mary Major. Major's key because it's largest. Santa Maria Maggiore. Number 3, this basilica was built over the tomb of St. Paul and is named for its location with respect to Rome's Aurelian fortifications.
St. Paul at the Wall.
Sorry, St. Paul outside the walls. Very close. You were there. All right. So I have 195.30. Toss-up number 12. This profession was practiced by men who worked with their father Zebedee and had hired servants to help mend nets. The Gospels describe this. Yes.
Fishing.
Yes, correct. All right, your bonus. Identify each of the following apostles for 10 points each. None of whom wrote a gospel. Number 1, he and his brother Peter were both fishermen, and he introduced Peter to Jesus. He is known as the patron saint of Scotland.
St. James.
That's Andrew. Often listed as the 5th apostle, he was from the same town as Peter and Andrew. His most notable appearance in the Bible occurs during the Last Supper when he asks about the unity of the Father and the Son.
Bartholomew.
That's Philip. Number 3, he was the first apostle to leave the Roman Empire to teach the gospel, but he is mostly remembered for doubting the resurrection.
Thomas.
Correct. Okay, so I have 215. All right, toss-up number 13. The first pope of this name, also a saint, died while imprisoned in Ravenna after a mission to help relieve the severe treatment of Arians in the East. Angelo Giuseppe Roncalli, the most recent pope of this name, died in 1963 and was succeeded by Pope Paul VI. For 10 points, name this papal name, which is also the name of an apostle and evangelist, as well. Yes.
John.
Correct. As well as being the most common papal name. Your bonus. Name the following about the popes John for 10 points each. Number 1, Pope John the 23rd convened this church council in 1962.
First Vatican.
Sorry, that's Second Vatican Council. This pope only reigned for 33 days in 1978 and was declared a servant of God by his successor, who chose the same papal name.
John Paul.
Yes. Number 3, Pope John X allied with Byzantine and German forces in the Battle of Garigliano to expel these Muslims from southern Italy. Provide the term starting with the letter S that means Muslim warriors.
Saracen.
Correct. 20 points in the bonus. It takes you all to 245. Toss-up number 14. In this section of one of the Gospels, Jesus switches the Greek word he uses for eat from phago to trogon to indicate a more literal meaning to his listeners who were murmuring at him. This lecture immediately follows the feeding of the 5,000, and that food-based miracle provides context. Yes.
Sermon on the Mount.
Incorrect, sorry. And that food-based miracle provides context for Jesus' discourse for 10 points. Which of Jesus' discourses occurs primarily in John 6 and is named for the 3 words by which Jesus refers to himself? Yes.
The bread of life discourse.
Correct. All right, your bonus. Answer the following about the bread of life discourse for 10 points each. The people referred to what prefigurement of the Eucharist when they asked Jesus, "Then what sign do you do that we may see and believe you? What work do you perform? Our fathers ate this in the wilderness."
Manna.
Correct. At what important verse of John 6 does Jesus say the following? "Amen, amen, I say to you, unless you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life within you." Your answer?
13.
This is John 53. Jesus finished the Bread of Life discourse in the synagogue of which city? Starting with the letter C, a fishing village on the shore of the Sea of Galilee.
Capernaum.
Correct. 20 points on the bonus. Brings y'all to 60. Toss-up number 15. One of these kinds of words is found in Genesis 3:15 with respect to who shall bruise your head. And biblical translators disagree as to its gender based on which word is its antecedent. Types of these kinds of words include relative ones which connect phrases and interrogative ones which form questions. Personal ones stand... Yes.
Pronoun.
Correct. Okay, y'all are charging back now. Identify the type of pronoun found in each of the following sentences for 10 points each. Matthew 26:28, for this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. We want for the word my.
Possessive.
Correct. Number 2, Psalm 32:1, blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. Your answer?
Indefinite.
Close. It's interrogative. Number 3, James 1:22, but be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Yourselves being the pronoun.
Reflexive.
Good job. 20 points on your bonus, taking you all to 90 points. Math computation. Toss-up. Pencil and paper ready. In 1 Kings 10, verse 14, we learn that King Solomon received 666 talents of gold per year. How much would this be in dollars? Assume, for the sake of calculation, that 1 talent of gold weighs 75 pounds, and 1 pound of gold is worth $50,000. For 10 points, what is the value of 666 talents of gold in U.S. dollars within 10%? You have 20 seconds. Time. It's about $2.5 billion. Well, that saves us a math bonus. Toss-up number 17. Following the armistice, this man renounced any participation in government affairs, but did not abdicate after secretly attempting to negotiate a peaceful end to the First World War. Later, the Republic of German Austria formally dethroned the Habsburgs and banished him for life, following the assassination of
Wilhelm.
Incorrect. Following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and the death of Emperor Franz Joseph, for 10 points, what blessed became Emperor of Austria? Time. That's Blessed Karl of Austria. Could take basically any variant of the name Charles. All right, toss-up 18. One of these literary devices is set up by characters pranking Christopher Sly in The Taming of the Shrew. The host sets up one of these literary devices by promising free meals to whichever guest at the Tabard Inn tells the best story on the way to St. Thomas a Becket's grave. For 10 points, what narrative devices used to create a plot within a plot is used in Canterbury Tales and is the name for the item that holds and surrounds a picture? Yes.
Frame.
Yes, frame stories. All right, your bonus. Name the following about Canterbury Tales for 10 points each. Number 1, who wrote Canterbury Tales?
Chaucer.
Correct. Number 2, this is the first of the Canterbury Tales. In this tale, named for and about a kind of soldier, 2 cousins, Palamon and Arcite, are captured and imprisoned by Theseus, Duke of Athens, after being found unconscious following his battle against Creon.
Roman.
Incorrect. It's the Knight's Tale. Number 3, this tale, told by a certain kind of cleric, recounts the tragic endings of Lucifer, Adam, Samson, Hercules, Nebuchadnezzar, and Julius Caesar, among others.
Priest's Tale.
Good guess. It's the Monk's Tale. Okay, so that takes y'all 260 to 90. Toss-up number 19. 260 Catholic Baton Rouge to 90 St. Michael. Toss-up number 19. This process was first discovered in 1748 by a Catholic deacon and physicist, Abbé Jean-Antoine Nollet, while experimenting with liquids separated by a pig's bladder. This process triggers crenation in animal cells and plasmolysis in plant cells. Aquaporins are channels that facilitate this process. The reverse form of this process...
Osmosis.
Correct. Your bonus, name the following about chemistry for 10 points each. This compound has estrogen-like properties, which has led to a controversy over its use in the plastic industry. Newer water bottles are often advertised as being free of this substance. What is this possibly carcinogenic compound found in food packaging?
BP.
Can you be more specific? Your answer?
Benzopetroleum.
It's BPA. So I could accept it's bisphenol A, so could have accepted more specific on that. Number 2. BPA is produced by reacting phenol with this simplest ketone, often used in nail polish remover.
Acetone.
That's correct. Number 3, acetone is produced primarily through the cumene process, in which this chemical is alkylated with propylene to produce cumene, which is oxidized by air to produce phenol and acetone. What is this reagent of the cumene process? The simplest aromatic hydrocarbon with molecular formula C6H6. Your answer?
Ethanol.
This is benzene. All right, toss up the last. A score of 280 to 90. According to St. John Damascene, this is an oppressive sorrow which, to wit, so weighs upon man's mind that he wants to do nothing. Thus, acid things are also cold. The Summa further defines it as a sluggishness of the mind which neglects to begin good. For 10 points, name this deadly sin and vice that starts with the letter S. Yes.
Sloth.
Correct. All right, your bonus. Name the following vices that are related to sloth according to the Summa for 10 points each. Quote, now spiritual goods which are the object of the sorrow of sloth are both end and means. Avoidance of the end is the result of this. What vice which starts with D is the loss of hope.
Despair.
Correct. Number 2, Aquinas states the following, quote, the struggle against spiritual goods that cause sorrow is sometimes with men who lead others to spiritual goods. And this is called this. What vice, which starts with S, is a desire to hurt or offend. Your answer? That is spite. Number 3, spite that extends to the spiritual goods themselves when a man goes so far as to detest them, and this is properly called this. What vice, which starts with M, is a desire to inflict harm or suffering on another.
Malice.
Correct. So 20 points in the bonus, taking y'all to 120. So I have a final score of 280 to 120. Is that correct? You did. And 14, I think. So at 13, y'all were at 245. Then at 14 and 17, we had -5, -5. And taking y'all to 240. Maybe I missed. Maybe I didn't add it in. Do you have 275? Okay, you're right. Okay. Any protests or any other issues? Okay, well, good job, both teams. Right back with the championship round. We'll figure out who in the seeding rounds got first and second, and those two teams will play each other for the championship and the Carlo Cup. Ready? When they tell me to stand by, I'm going to start with toss-up. I'm going to go through the seating. All right, welcome back to the Carlo Cup. This is our championship round, our final round. We have concluded the preliminary seeding rounds and our top 2 seeds. Number 1 with a record of 4-0 is Catholic of Baton Rouge to my left. And on the right, we have Regina Chaley with a record of 2-2. We had a 3-way tie for 2-2 with Catholic of Point Capee, Regina Chaley, and St. Joseph's Academy. But Regina Chaley had the highest score of the total points of those 3, 970. So this is our first and second seed teams. Good luck to both teams. We don't talk about luck. We talk about God bless both teams. And let's get started. Number 1, toss-up. After Catholicism became illegal here in 1560, underground priests were called heather priests because they hid in the mountains of this country. Drones and chanters make up the great Highland type of an instrument from this country. A visit to Fingal... Yes.
Ireland.
Incorrect. Neg 5. A visit to Fingal's cave in this country inspired Mendelssohn's Hebrides Overture. That song, Loch Lomond, comes from, for 10 points, what country known for its bagpipes?
Scotland.
Correct. Your bonus. Name the following about Scotland for 10 points each. Number 1, what is Scotland's capital city, which also includes an underground city?
Edinburgh.
Correct. Number 2, Scotland is one of the only countries in the world with a mythical national animal. What is this animal, which in Renaissance art and elsewhere is a symbol for purity and virginity?
Unicorn.
Correct. Number 3, Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell took the world's first one of these in Scotland in 1861. The subject was a tartan ribbon.
Submarine.
Incorrect. It's a color photograph. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 2, biology. The luteal phase features increased progesterone production, which increases this quantity, measurement of which is used during natural family planning to determine periods of fertility. The preoptic area of the anterior hypothalamus aids in the regulation of this quantity. Many aquatic mammals use a thick layer of fat to control this quantity. For 10 points, what does the human body maintain at about 98 points? Yes.
Homeostasis.
Can you be more specific?
Homeostatic temperature.
I can accept that. Yeah, I can accept that. All right, your bonus. Name the following about body temperature for 10 points each. Number 1, body temperature fluctuates during the day following this kind of rhythm, from the Latin for around the day.
Circadian.
Correct. Assuming nocturnal sleeping patterns, the lowest and highest body temperature levels in the human body occur around 4 a.m. and p.m., at which 4 o'clock a.m. or p.m. does the lowest temperature occur.
AM.
Correct. Number 3, though mercury thermometers are calibrated to make it appear so, mouth temperature is not maintained at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Within 0.2 of a degree, what is the typical healthy daytime temperature of the mouth?
.96.
It's 98.2, so I could accept anything from 98 to 98.4. 10 points, 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 3. This artist portrayed a young man having his ring stolen by a palm reader in The Fortune Teller. A man peers over a boy's shoulder and signals what cards he's holding in the card sharps. In his painting in the Contarelli Chapel, Christ reaches toward a bearded man who is pointing to himself for 10 points. Name this 17th century artist of the calling of St. Matthew and the incredulity of St. Thomas. Time. That's Caravaggio. Toss-up number 4. He purchased the cave of Machpelah from Ephron the Hittite, paying 400 shekels of silver, which indicates his status of merchant prince. This biblical figure's brothers were Nahor and Haran, and his father was Terah. This patriarch told his wife to say that she was his sister to evade Egyptian. Yes.
Abraham.
Correct. Your bonus, name the following about Abraham for 10 points each. Number 1, which 2 cities, 2 of the 5 cities of the plain, referred to in Abraham and Lot's conflict, were later destroyed by God for their wickedness?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Correct. Number 2, after Abram defeats the king of Elam and rescues Lot, he is met by this mysterious king of Salem who brings forth bread and wine to memorialize the victory.
Melchizedek.
Correct. Number 3, there is a Hebrew tradition that the mysterious figure of Melchizedek was actually this son of Noah, or at least one of his descendants.
Levi.
That's Shem. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 5. When this man claimed to have the power to destroy the church, the cardinal replied, "Your Majesty, we Catholic clergy have done our best to destroy the church for the last 1,800 years. We have not succeeded, and neither will you." 2 days after his marriage to
Henry VIII.
Incorrect. Neg 5. 2 days after his marriage to Josephine, he led a successful invasion of Italy that began his storied military career. For 10 points, who crowned himself emperor in 1804 and conquered much of Europe before his 1815 defeat at Waterloo? Yes.
Napoleon.
Correct. Your bonus, name the following about Napoleonic battles for 10 points each. Also known as the Battle of Three Emperors, it is considered Napoleon's tactical masterpiece. After his outnumbered army feigned weakness, then seized the strategic Pratzen Heights, Napoleon's victory effectively ended the Holy Roman Empire. Your answer? That's Austerlitz. In this major French naval defeat, Admiral Horatio Nelson destroyed the combined French and Spanish fleets off the coast of Spain, ended Napoleon's hopes of invading Britain, and established a British naval supremacy that would last over a century.
Refer to Andrew Trafalgar.
Correct. Number 3, including the bloodiest single day of the Napoleonic Wars, this battle inspired the 1812 Overture. A Pyrrhic victory for Napoleon, Russia's refusal to surrender led to the disastrous retreat that decimated his Grande Armée.
Battle of Moscow.
It's a Battle of Borodino. 10 points in the bonus. Toss-up number 6. This Catholic author is responsible for popularizing the work of Charles Dickens. This biographer of St. Thomas Aquinas, with whom he bore a certain resemblance, also wrote a biography of St. Francis, saying he plunged after poverty as men have dug madly for gold. C.S. Lewis converted to Christianity after reading his book, The Everlasting Man. For 10 points, name this author of the Father Brown Mysteries. Yes.
Is it G.K. Chesterton?
Correct. Your bonus, name the following about the endlessly quotable Chesterton for 10 points each. Describing the cave paintings of Lascaux in The Everlasting Man, Chesterton said, "This is the signature of man." Your answer? Art is the signature of man. Number 2, in Man Alive, Chesterton describes this sacrament as a duel to the death, which no man of honor should decline.
Baptism.
Marriage. These do not cease to be these because they become fashions. Logical ones of these include circular reasoning, ad hominem, straw man, and non sequitur. Your answer?
No answer.
Fallacies. Okay, 0 points in the bonus. Toss-up number 7. Regarding these, Aquinas references Wisdom 14:14, that by the vanity of men these came into the world. He also referenced Romans, which describes these. They changed the glory of the incorruptible God into the likeness of the image of a corruptible man, and of birds, and of four-footed beasts, and of creeping things. 10 points. Name these images of false God.
Idols.
Correct. Your bonus. Name the following about idols and idolatry according to the Summa for 10 points each. St. Augustine is quoted with regard to this vice, quote, anything invented by man for making and worshiping idols or for giving divine worship to a creature or any part of a creature is, end quote, called this. What word starting with an S is often identified with good or bad luck?
Superstition.
Correct. Idolatry includes a grievous this, inasmuch as it deprives God of the singleness of his dominion and denies the faith by deeds. What is this word beginning with B, which is an insult or a reverence to God?
Blasphemy.
Correct. Special reverence is due to the Most High God, who excels all in a singular manner, and this worship is called this. What is this Latin word for the kind of worship reserved for God alone, as opposed to dulia? Your answer?
Sanctus.
It says latria. 20 points in the bonus. Toss-up number 8. Due to this artist's wide-ranging interests, he frequently left major works unfinished, such as St. Jerome, the Adoration of the Magi, the Virgin and Child with St. Anne. As a teenager, he studied in Verrocchio's studio. Yes.
Da Vinci.
Correct. Name the following about one of Da Vinci's most famous, but also most fragile, paintings for 10 points each. It covers the back wall of the dining hall of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Italy, and depicts Jesus and the 12 apostles gathered around a table.
The Last Supper.
Correct. Kind of like y'all's arrangement right now. The figure of which apostle appears feminine according to the Renaissance artistic style for the depiction of younger men, and has led some, like the author Dan Brown, to erroneously believe it's actually a depiction of Mary Magdalene.
John.
Correct. The painting depicts the moment when Jesus announces that one of his apostles will betray him, though he does not mention him by name. What item spilled near Judas identifies him in the painting?
Sack of coins.
Salt. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 9. Maria on this celestial body, which is also frequently analogized to the Blessed Mother, consists of basaltic plains and do not reflect as much light as their terrae counterparts. Daedalus, a notable crater on this body, is found on the far side. This body also has the power to influence and cause tide. Yeah.
The moon.
Correct. Name the following about the moon for 10 points each. Number 1, while most years have 12 of these, 2026 will feature 13 due to a blue moon on May 31st. What is the term for the phase of the moon in which its whole disk is illuminated?
Full moon.
Correct. Give or take 5%, the moon's surface gravity is what percentage of the Earth's surface gravity?
33.
Incorrect. It's 17%. So I go 12 to 22. Phase 2 of this NASA mission, named for a goddess of the moon, is slated to launch as early as February 2026, carrying a crew of 4 to fly around the far side of the moon. While they will not land, they will travel farther from Earth than any humans since the Apollo era.
Artemis.
Correct. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 10, after which we'll have a score check. At this site, on September 8th, 1565, Father Francisco Lopez de Mendoza Grajales celebrated the first recorded Catholic Mass in the present-day United States. Yes, Alex.
St. Augustine.
Correct. Good job. Name the following about early American exploration by a particular country for 10 points each. Number 1, St. Augustine was founded by this country, whose explorer Alonso Alvarez de Pineda created the first known map depicting Texas.
Spain.
Correct. This Spanish explorer became the first governor of Puerto Rico in 1505 after his discovery of Florida while searching for the Fountain of Youth.
To Ross.
Ponce de Leon.
Correct. Number 3, on May 8th, 1541, this Spanish explorer became the first European to see the Mississippi River.
DeSoto.
Correct. 30 points on the bonus. All right. Can we have a score check? Coaches, what do y'all have? Oh, sorry. We got... So you have 175 Catholic Baton Rouge, 65 Regina Chaley. Good, awesome. Any substitutions? Oh, sorry, guys. If wishing made it so. All right, everybody ready to get started on round 2, the last round? All right, let's do this. Coaches, did you have any words of wisdom or... Okay, awesome. Good job, both teams. Toss-up number 11. Giorgio Vasari states that this sculptor once yelled at a statue to make it speak. Examples of Stiacciato works by this artist include the ivory relief Madonna of the Clouds and the bronze relief The Feast of Herod. A bronze work by this artist shows a person wearing only a hat and boots stepping on another man's head. For 10 points, what 15th century Italian sculptor, whose name comes from the Italian for gift from God, made a bronze David? Yes.
Michelangelo.
Incorrect. No penalty on this side. Sorry. No conferring between the team members. It's a toss-up. That was Donatello. All right, toss-up number 12. Pope Pius IX formally approved a large number of these prayers, which are divided between 3 categories. 1, mourning or before a burial. Yes.
Liturgy of the Hours.
Incorrect. Number 2, neg 5. Number 2, in preparation for a liturgical feast, or 3, intercessory. This form of prayer originated in the days between the Ascension and Pentecost, when the apostles gathered in the upper room with the Blessed Mother to pray for the coming of the Holy Spirit. A common one of these is prayed to St. Joseph for employment or for the sale of a house. For 10 points, name this series of prayers which lasts 9 days. Yes?
Novena.
Correct. Your bonus, name the following about popular Christmas novenas for 10 points each. Number 1, this Christmas novena is named for the fisherman apostle on whose feast it starts on November 30th. It runs through Christmas Eve, and the novena prayer is said 15 times daily.
Peter.
This is St. Andrew's novena. Number 2, this Christmas novena is celebrated chiefly in Latin America between December 16th and 24th and comes from the Spanish word for lodging, a reference to the inn from the Nativity story. The 9 days are the 9 months of Mary's pregnancy and frequently include Christmas pageants.
Elohio.
This is Las Posadas. The novena in honor of this Czech devotion to the infancy of Jesus is also said at Christmastide and typically incorporates the feast of the Holy Name of Jesus.
Epiphany.
This is the infant Jesus of Prague. No points and a bonus. Sorry, guys. Toss number 13. A monarch of this empire had his skull turned into a drinking cup after... Yes.
The Byzantine Empire.
Correct. Nice job. The Byzantine Empire reached its greatest... Let me see. Name a fun about the Byzantine Empire for 10 points each. The Byzantine Empire reached its greatest extent under the reign of this emperor.
Justinian.
Correct. Huge sections of the empire were conquered. Were conquered by the Rashidun and Umayyad caliphates. Then finally, Asia Minor was lost to the Seljuk Turks. All of these conquerors were members of what religion?
Islam.
Correct. Constantinople was located across from the Sea of Marmara from this ancient city, which the Greeks waged war against after the actions of Paris.
Troy.
Correct. 30 points in the bonus. Toss-up number 14. The grandsons of St. Jude were among the first given this title, according to Eusebius, based on the peril they underwent before Domitian. The Gospels and Acts record the following saints as achieving this title.
Deacons.
I'm going to say incorrect. Achieving this title, James, John the Baptist, the Holy Innocents of Bethlehem, and Stephen, the proto of such title. For 10 points, what is this title? The Greek word for witness, which originally identified someone... Yes.
Martyr.
Correct. Name the following about virgin martyrs for 10 points each. Which virgin martyr is typically depicted as holding a lamb, as her name is very close to the Latin word for lamb?
St. Agnes.
Correct. Celebrated on December 13th, which virgin martyr is recognized as the patron saint of eye illnesses after suffering blindness as part of her martyrdom?
St. Cecilia.
Incorrect. That's Lucy. Another virgin martyr mentioned in the canon of the Mass is this 3rd century saint, the patroness of music and musicians.
St. Cecilia.
Yes, that is correct. All right, 20 points in the bonus. Toss-up number 15. G.K. Chesterton said that these teach children, quote, children teach children the dragons can be killed, end quote. The line, "I'll grind his bones to make my bread," dates to a 1734 instance of this genre about a...
Fairy tale.
Yes, good job. Name the following about fairy tales for 10 points each. In some early versions of this story, the title character's fairy godmother is actually her guardian angel.
Cinderella.
Correct. Number 2, why have not we an immortal soul? Asks this non-human Hans Christian Andersen title character mournfully. Quote, I would give gladly all the hundreds of years that I have to live to be a human being only for one day and to have the hope of knowing the happiness of that glorious world above the stars. Who is that title character?
Pinocchio.
It's the Little Mermaid. Number 3, in a Brothers Grimm fairy tale, a woodcutter and his wife are too poor to feed their 3-year-old girl, so this person appears to the woodcutter and adopts the child. This lady instructs the child not to open a 13th door, but she does anyway, and later learns about repentance.
Bluebeard's wife.
This is the Virgin Mary. featured in a Brothers Grimm fairy tale. 10 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 16, pencil and paper ready. You will need to convert gallons to cups to answer this question. At the wedding at Cana, John 2:6 states the following: Now 6 stone jars were standing there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Assuming the maximum stated capacity of the jars is correct, 30 gallons, for 10 points, how many cups of wine did Jesus' miracle create? You have 15 seconds. Shh, no conference between the...
Shoot.
Yes.
80.
Incorrect. Yes.
2,160.
Close. 2,880 cups. 180 gallons times 16 cups per gallon. It's a lot of wine. Toss-up number 17. Plutarch, in a biography paired with the life of Caesar, relates how this king killed his friend Clytus the Black in a drunken argument. The Hellenistic period began with...
Alexander the Great.
Correct. Good job. Name the following about Alexander the Great for 10 points each. Number 1, what Greek philosopher, whom Aquinas called the philosopher, was Alexander's tutor?
Aristotle.
Correct. Number 2, Alexander is said to have slept with an annotated copy of this Homeric work under his pillow, which was given to him by Aristotle.
The Iliad.
Correct. The Jewish historian Josephus wrote that when Alexander visited Jerusalem and met the Jewish archpriest Simon the Just, he was shown this book of the Old Testament, a prophecy of himself, in which the prophet declared that a Greek would destroy the empire of the Persians. Your answer?
Isaiah.
This is Daniel. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up number 18. This Catholic author's lesser-known epic fantasy series, the story of Gregor in a subterranean world under New York City, inhabited by humans and giant bats, cockroaches, and rats, is entitled...
Suzanne Collins.
Yes, good job. Identify the following from the Hunger Games for 10 points each. Also written by Suzanne Collins. The Hunger Games was partly inspired by the Greek myth of Theseus and this monster, to whom 7 Athenian boys and girls were sent to Crete to be devoured every 9 years.
Minotaur.
Correct. Josh Hutcherson portrayed this character in the Hunger Games film series, who offers a gift of bread and self-sacrifice.
Hera.
Correct. This is the first name of President Snow, who was directly inspired by a legendary Roman general of the same name, an ambitious, ruthless, elite-born leader who is a subject of a Shakespearean tragedy of the same name.
Julius.
This is Coriolanus. Coriolanus. 20 points on the bonus. Toss-up 19. The Catholic director of the Paris Observatory, Urbain Le Verrier, predicted the existence of this planet mathematically based on the perturbations of Uranus that could... Yeah.
Neptune.
Good job. Name the following about Neptune for 10 points each. Dark, cold, and whipped by supersonic winds, Neptune is an ice giant of this color.
Oh, blue.
Correct. Triton is the only large moon in the solar system with an orbit of this distinction, which suggests that it may once have been an independent object that Neptune captured.
Regular.
Sorry, that's retrograde, a retrograde orbit. Number 3, thought to be relatively young, Neptune has 5 of these named Gallet, La Verrière, La Selle, Arago, and Adams.
Moons.
Rings. All right, 10 points in the bonus. The last toss-up, number 20. According to paragraph 1525 of the Catechism, penance, the anointing of the sick, and the Eucharist as this constitute, at the end of Christian life, the sacraments that prepare for our heavenly homeland, or the sacraments that complete the earthly pilgrimage. For 10 points. Latin for food for the journey. Yes.
Viaticum.
Good. Name the following about the effects of the sacrament of anointing of the sick from Catechism paragraphs 1520, 1523 for 10 points each. The first effect is a particular gift from this member of the Trinity. The first grace of this sacrament is one of strengthening peace and courage to overcome the difficulties that go with the condition of serious illness or the frailty of old age.
Holy Spirit?
Correct. The second effect is union with this. By the grace of this sacrament, the sick person receives the strength and the gift of uniting himself more closely to this. In a certain way, he is consecrated to bear fruit by configuration to the Savior's redemptive this. Suffering, a consequence of original sin, acquires a new meaning. It becomes a participation in the saving work of Jesus.
Grace?
It's the passion of Christ. The third effect is this kind of grace. The sick who receive this sacrament by freely uniting themselves to the passion and death of Christ contribute to the good of the people of God, and the communion of saints intercedes for the benefit of the sick person. What kind of grace is this? Starting with the letter E, an adjective meaning the whole church.
Ecumenical?
Good guess. It's ecclesial. 10 points on the bonus. All right, wait for a score check. Good job, both teams. I have a final score. Regina Chaley, 90 points. Catholic of Baton Rouge, 340 points. Awesome. Great job, both teams. Now, if we could, we'll, if y'all shake hands, we'll stand right here. We'll award the trophy, do all that kind of good stuff. All right, if I could have y'all face that camera. Face this way. Good guys, we'll face this right here. All right, our champions of the first annual Carlo Cup, Catholic of Baton Rouge, congratulations. Awesome. Anything else I'm supposed to say, Dina? It's all good? Well, thanks everybody for joining us this year. Hope to see you next year. Yeah, for sure.